Welcome back to another Python tutorial where today we're going to be doing linear searches. Linear searches are probably the first search algorithm you'll learn to write because it's the easiest to write. And it's a simple concept, linear search. The rest require a bit more thinking. And if you were trying to make a list and search through it, this is probably the system you would come up with first. So let's go through it. First we'll do it in a PowerPoint with some cards, and then we will write it in Python. So let's say we've got a list of letters. They don't have to be in order with linear search. They can be scrambled, they can be mixed up, whatever. But let's say we've got a list of letters, and we're looking for the position of letter I. So we would look at the first letter, and we'll compare it to the letter we're looking for. A is not I, so we'll move along. We've got index 2. Index 2 is equal to B. That's also not I, so we'll look at index 3. That's C. And we'll keep going along, adding 1 to our index until we got to I. And then we would return the position of I. Let's say we were looking for Z. Z's not on this list, so it will keep going through to the end. And once it got to the last one, it would go across and it would return -1 to show that there was an error and it doesn't exist. So that's the idea. So let's code this. I'm going to be using VS Code again because I use VS Code for all of my tutorials, but you can use whatever you fancy. I will do the same system as normal where we'll write it and then I'll go through and explain it. So we're going to create a new function and we're going to call this linear search. Keep it simple. And then we're going to open our brackets, and in here we need to give it two pieces of information. We need to give it the array, which is the data we're going to be searching for, and we're going to be searching through, and we're going to need to give it a key. The key is the piece of data we are trying to find. Next we're going to create a new variable, and we're going to call this index. And we're going to set this to be equal to 0. Now we're going to use a while loop, just because it's easy. So while index, I don't know why I wrote all that, so while index, and then that is less than the length, so we're going to use length of our array. We are going to do a check, so we're going to check if our spot is the same as our key. So the way you can do this is if array, square brackets, index, you need to remember index here is just a number, is equal to key. We're going to return the spot of our, we're going to turn the position of the array, so we're going to return index. And if it's not the right spot, we're going to want to go to the next box, so we're going to do index plus equal to 1. Sorry, must be plus equal to, in that order, 1. And then we're going to go back a line, so it's in line with the while, we're going to return -1. So, as you can see, it's a really short piece of code, which is why index search is so popular. So, let's go through this. First, we're initializing our value of 0, which is our index. We're going to be searching through each spot of our array. So while we're at it, let's get our array. I'm going to use the same one as sorting. There we go. All of the code is public and in the description. So it will keep going through each of our spots. And if it's not the right spot, it's going to add 1. So we'll look at the next location. And if it gets to the end and can't find it, it will return -1. So let's test this. Let's print brackets linear search, and we're going to sort through the data to sort, and let's look for the number 750, and we're going to print or run this, and you can see it's at position 21. Now we can check this by trying to print brackets to sort, and let's go print position 21, and as you can see it's 750. So there is one downside with using a linear sort search, which is if the item is in here multiple times, let's say there's multiple lots of 750, it will only ever find the first one. That's a slight drawback with linear search. The second drawback with linear search, as you can guess, is quite slow, because it has to sort through every piece of data, and worst case scenario, it is the last item in the array. It could take a while. So because of that, linear search quite often doesn't get used when it comes to larger amounts of data, but for small things like this, linear search is perfect. I hope you learned something. Thank you for watching. Please consider subscribing. Again, the code is on a public GitHub with the link in the description. Hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Bye!